Hello friends, my name is Keisha, and I'm a proud member of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. I'm also a survivor of human trafficking. My trafficking began in Canada and crossed into the United States. I was stalked, hunted, and ignored by the very systems that were meant to protect me. This is why, with my father, Dale Richardson, we started the CARES Project, an Indigenous survivor-led movement for humanity. We are dedicated to exposing human trafficking, government corruption, and holding institutions accountable. The judicial branch is broken. It has failed to restrain the evils that have come upon this republic. Whether it's family court failures, weaponization of the judiciary, COVID-era harms, or human trafficking, the courts have allowed these issues to continue unchecked for too long. One of the most powerful tools we're using is the petition for redress of grievances. These are lawful constitutional actions rooted in the founding principles of this country. On May 19, 2026, a formal petition for redress of grievances was submitted to the United States Congress. This petition is demanding that Congress and the President use the powers under Article 4, Section 4 to preserve this Republican form of government by restraining these abuses pending congressional investigation. Through the CARES Project Action Plan, we are mobilizing people across the United States to strengthen this effort. This petition has been created as a template. If you or someone you love have been hurt by these same systemic failures in the courts or by government institutions, your evidence matters. When you come forward, please bring your evidence along with a copy of the petition for redress of grievances. This helps connect your story to this growing constitutional record being placed before Congress. We are asking you to stand with us. Join the CARES Project Action Plan and help us build a precedent that demands accountability and protects the God-given rights of American families. Our united voices will compel Congress to uphold the Constitution and safeguard our liberties. United we stand, one nation under God. I will close with my favorite quote. The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right, though the heavens may fall. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the CARES Project podcast. Today, we are here with Kat Espinda and West Acton again. We are here to talk about some interesting situations that were going on. So I'll get you to introduce yourself to our audience here, Kat.
Okay, I am Kat Espinda with One New Earth. I've started just recently the Two-Tiered Takedown. It's a show where we go into the commissioners meeting every week, Benton County and Franklin County. And then on Sunday night, live at 6 p.m., we air all of the courts, the judges, dirty laundry. We're exposing corruption. We're finding out in the family courts that they're ripping children out of parents' arms without due process. And we're here to stand up against that. Our children are not safe until the truth matters in our courtrooms. And right now it doesn't matter. So we're shining a big fat floodlight on these roaches inside the courtrooms that need to really face justice for what they have done. But until then, we've started this whole court watching thing, and I'm excited to get into it today and talk. So thank you, Dale, for inviting me onto the show.
Thank you for coming. Now, Wes, you can go. It's your turn. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Good. Yeah, Wes Acton, Washington State team leader for the Family Justice and Accountability Act, Punished for Protecting, and Make America's Children Safe Again. One of the kind of the co-founders of that, and I've been kind of leading the site on there. I'm a father that managed to win full 100% custody of my 4 children in 2017. I know a lot of the tricks and traps the court system does. I was educated, even though I don't have the degree. I was educated and I was able to navigate my way through the court system and keep my children safe. And since I was given that great, wonderful gift from God, I feel obligated to help other families too. And with the Family Justice and Accountability Act, we also do the court watchers. We've had a lot of good success on that. Was able to reunite some children with the good, safe parent. We try not to do the whole gender war. It's the good, safe mother or father, and then there's then there's the man or woman that has bad behavior. And so we're trying to make sure that we classify by individual categories, not because of something they can't, help being born with. What else? I'm also a holistic health coach now, and just trying to survive this crazy world because we're all got to stick together. So helping unite people as much as we can, and so that we can come out of this and get the justice and the accountability that we as good citizens need. So that's me in a nutshell.
All right. And so we're all here to deal with the issue with the justice system. Yes, the family court, the civil court, the immigration court, the criminal court. It doesn't matter. If it has a judge in it, it's corrupt. And that's really
the design corruption.
Yes. And so we're going to kind of circle on, because I know we got a call this morning and was talking to Mitch Snow, and we were now looking at talking with Kat now about what she saw. I mean, at the courthouse. This is the Benton County court.
He was actually George Webb filmed it in front of the Franklin County Courthouse, the one that most people saw.
Oh, okay. So the Franklin County Courthouse, I stand corrected. And the judge made some pretty interesting comments about lynching. You want to kind of let us know about that? Because that's, I mean, from a judge, you would expect that not to happen.
Well, it's a very layered story. And, I met Mitch Snow. It's been a few years now, and did that article, 3 shows with him last year. The judges, he's ran through every single judge. He's been doing this for 10 years. In the last 3 years, he hasn't seen his son. And basically, they are running a scam, a huge scam. I think people are starting to wake up to the scam, and I'm sure Wes is going to talk about it too. But Judge True last year, she was piped in from the Yakima County Courthouse, whole nother county, piped in on a television to adjudicate on this case with Mitch last year. And last year, he was feeling very, like he needed to kind of pull back, just do what they were asking. And he wanted to see his son again. And there's no reason Mitch Snow shouldn't be able to see his son. He was the protective parent.
I just wanted to address something you just said there quickly, where you said he felt like he needed to pull back so that he could see his son. This is something that happens often in every single case that I see, that they try to pressure the parents for when they're talking out about the abuse. And this is literally what an abuser does to their victim. But
absolutely. So God gave us an instrument. It's our voice. And according to the First Amendment of the Constitution, which protects our God-given rights, the Constitution is a contract from we the people, letting our employees know what not to touch. You don't touch my right to speak. What's wrong with you people? Like, are you insane? Anyway, this is what they do. And they try to scare you. They use fear, which is false evidence appearing real, because that's all they got. And then once they scare you enough into being quiet, then they run over you in court. Typically, it's done alone. Most people are working during the day. They go to school. They've got, things to do. And they'll do it on a Monday morning, a Tuesday morning, when everybody's at work. They depend on the fact that you will be in there alone and that they will do whatever they do. And typically what we found here, being a pattern recognition specialist, and March 3rd was the first day Mitch Snow and I walked into the Benton County Commissioners meeting and explained it, what was going on. Since then, this is what, June now, we've seen shenanigans. Sometimes they don't show up. They're conspiring against us. They've admitted on the record and in writing that they're going to do nothing to deal with this court corruption, even though they hold the strings to the county purse. They could cut off these people's salaries today. But no, they make way too much money. By their actions, they are complicit, fully complicit.
But they're elected officials, correct?
Well, it depends on how you look at that, because we were just in there, Michael Alvarez, commissioner number 2, he's like, you might have to deal with me for another 4 years. Because see, these people know that they're going to get in because they are actually selected. There is no elections. They're just acting in there. They're reading scripts.
I get it, but technically what it's supposed to be under the law is an elected position, regardless of whether or not they do something criminal. They're still in the buildings that the people own, and they are still governed by the law. And if they're not governed by the law, then there's the door. But the problem is that he has the ability in that position to do something. He's an elected official, and he can direct the executive, like the sheriffs, to go and investigate. Like we lost Wes.
Absolutely. If you have sheriffs that will investigate, but all this proof has been turned into the Franklin County Sheriff and the Benton County Sheriff, and nothing gets done. In fact, if I call or if Mitch calls, that's a crime. To these people, according to what they put on their books, it is a crime for us to call in and ask for help. Because, and in Mitch's case, if he tries to turn something in, the way they're looking at it, Judge True, she's accepting the fact that Lene Snow broke into his home on March 3rd, the very day we were in there at the Benton County Commissioners meeting speaking. She broke in later that day. And the thing is that with everything that has happened, with her showing up on Gary Melton's show, Paramount Tactical, with the other 2 ladies, Candace Graysick and Erin Massey, being on his show as well for like 4 or 5 hours, and lying through their teeth.
On whose
and I
show?
Guess with me speaking,
on whose show?
That means that,
whose show?
On Paramount Tactical show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. The 2 ladies that were against Mitch in this whole thing who showed up, they were on Gary Melton's show, and it was like a 4 or 5 hour show. I could only get through 2.5 hours, and I had to turn it off. Because
what were their names again? The 2 women?
Erin Massey and Candace Graysick. They are the 2 ladies that went on to Paramount Tactical show to do this big expose about how Mitch is this violent man, and it's all bullcrap. And even Judge True from Yakima, in this last case where she pushed it out until this next week, she basically put on the record that Mitch Snow had domestic violence in his past. She admitted on the record that she doesn't have full access to Mitch Snow's records. So how is it then, if she doesn't even have access to his records, how can she adjudicate in this situation? Right? Are we in Alice in Wonderland or what? So we had court watchers in there this last time when Mitch was with his attorney. So he was on the screen, and we had court watchers in there. Erin was in there. Marcy Torres, she's a court watcher here. They were all in there, and they had to push it out. They expected, as usual, for Mitch to walk in there alone and for them to just run over him. And according to this judge, and according to the judges here, and according to the sheriff's departments here, if you're a pedophile, if you come and you fly from another state and you come out into the front of the county courthouse and you threaten on camera, by the way, live, that you are, if somebody doesn't admit something, even though it's a lie, then she's going to get lynched right out in front of the Franklin County Courthouse. If she doesn't admit that Mitch Snow is lying, then that's going to happen. So what happened was, I had a friend here in Washington State text me and say, Kat, George Webb, investigator, she was following him. She respected this man. She's like, he's there right now. And this Mitch Snow sounds like a terrible guy. She didn't know who he was. I picked up the phone and I called her. And I was like, let me tell you the real story, what's going on. She said, oh my God, I'm going to jump on there right now. I'm going to let him know that you're there. Because if you watch the video where George Webb is sitting in front of the Franklin County courthouse, he's telling people, nobody's doing the real work. Who's out here? Oh, me. I'm the only guy out here doing the real work. I'm where is Mitch Snow? Where? And so she got on there and she said, Cat Espinda, she's there. She's got the evidence. She can meet you. And then I jump on and I start typing, hey, George, I'm 15 minutes away. Hey, George, why don't we meet? I've got the evidence. Hey, George, you're looking for Mitch Snow? I've got his number. I was typing all this. As soon as he saw that I was commenting, he ended it. Well, gotta go. And do you think that I heard from George Webb? No, he blocked me on X. He's blocked me on everything. Yeah. Oh, I'm not hearing you. Dale, I'm not hearing you. Can you hear me? Oh no.
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm not hearing you guys right now at all. Oh, I hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me either?
I just can hear you now. Why can't I hear you, Dale?
Yeah, Dale, I can't hear you either.
That's rude. I can hear him. I can't hear you, Dale. Oh no. But as you're fixing that, I will just keep explaining. But so basically George Webb is a fraud, an absolute 100% fraud. All these poly market people who get $7,000 a month to say whatever they need to say. I don't make money doing this.
Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. What I was saying was George Webb, when he was doing some stuff about the engineering of COVID, I sent him my engineering report and he blocked me.
See?
Right? Like somebody who can it's qualified to speak on it. And I did research on this with 3 professional engineers that have PhDs overseeing my work. And I gave it to him and then he blocked me. So.
Yeah, no, they're not.
They're all about agenda. They don't care about truth at all. They're all about control, agenda, coercion, and way to get people manipulated, basically just programming the masses to have control. Well, to us, its currency is money. Their currency is blind devotion.
Yes, lies and deceit. So go ahead. I just wanted to say that because I saw that funny when you said that you started to tell him the truth and he blocked you.
And you started laughing like, he blocked me too. No, he's blocked half of his followers at this point are blocked. Half, from what I understand. I had so many people posting on my X saying, he blocked me too. He blocked me too. See, because these people, they don't operate in truth. I know, right?
All right. So go ahead. Continue with what he was saying because he was out there and you started him, then he blocked you, and then what happened?
So that was it. So I guess he was here another day or so talking to who, I don't know, who he's getting this information. Seems pretty obvious who he's getting this information from. I mean, it's, these people that, and here's the thing, they're probably watching this right now because I am all in and out of their paperwork and their answers because of me, because of what I've done. I guess I'm a pedophile. I guess I'm the one that's causing violence to them. I'm threatening them. It's like, listen, there's a thing called consequences here. I
was saying, if they want to bring me into court, by all means. I'm the guy that everybody's trying to shut me out of court, and I'd be dying to have my case in court. So you want to bring me into court? Go ahead. Go ahead, because I would love it. Because it would be your biggest mistake, but it was the thing that I want to do. So if anybody wants to do that, go ahead. Don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Same here.
How many times have I said, sue me? I've got so much evidence, not on just you, and I might slip on the record some evidence I have of other people, other judges, judges who like to bring victims' homes to their wives so they could watch them sleep with their wives. You know, it's like, these are the people who oversee our children, swingers, pedophiles. And there's just
Perverts.
way too much evidence. I've got evidence of one of the big kahunas here in this area. Yeah, he raped 2 minors. And I know how he did it. And I know where he did it. And I have whistleblowers right now.
And from what
These people are scared at this point because I'm very blah, blah, blah. I'm very loose lips, you know. So when it comes to these people.
From what I hear, there's law enforcement as well, because I know with, like, when my daughter went to report the trafficking and the rape, apparently the sheriff that was involved, that was his office, was involved with trafficking a girl. This is what all the people I've talked to in his area of saying. This is what the word on the street is, that he's got his hands involved in trafficking a girl. And so when you go to the law enforcement, they're trafficking. As far as I'm concerned, you're a pedophile. You go to the judges, they're pedophiles. You go to the elected officials, they're pedophiles. Because if you're protecting a pedophile or you're a pedophile, it's the same thing. Because you're allowing them their crimes to continue. So this is where I have an issue, because people, okay, yes, Mitch Snow is a polarizing figure. I don't care. Don't care. You know why? Because if you're going to allow that polarization affect his child being raped, then you're a pedophile. I don't care what you think of him, because his kid didn't do anything, and his kid didn't ask to be raped. And if you're going to sit there and smash the guy so that he can't get his kid, and allow that kid to sit down and be with a rapist who the kid keeps saying out of his own mouth that this is happening, then you're a pedophile. Like, bury him all you want. Say you don't like what he has to say. I don't care. Leave his kid out of it. Right?
Absolutely. And his son is very smart. I've over my investigation, I've collected videos. I've got a lot of audio and video. He was absolutely terrified to go back to his mother when Mitch would try to, like, do the exchange. He'd lock himself in the car. I've got 2 separate videos of him locking himself in his car, not wanting to go back to his mom. This is crimes against humanity. And you're right. If you protect a pedophile, you're probably a pedophile yourself. We're seeing this complicity throughout, you know, everyone that we're trying to bring this information to. We're not playing around with you anymore. We know what you're doing. We know you guys are profiting. We know what you do to children. We know that you don't care at all, as long as you get that ching-ching. And when I go in there, like to the Franklin County commissioners, there's judges sitting in there. And I've written songs about these people and they're running 24 hours a day on my live Do Nothing radio channel. So
I think it was Afro Man.
Hey, you know what? Afro Man is the reason I'm doing this. If it wasn't for African Afro Man, I don't think I would have had this idea. And it was actually Mitch. He was just like, "Have you heard of Afro Man?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, I've heard of Afro Man," but I didn't hear about what happened with these songs. I'm like,
"Oh, it was funny."
Are you kidding me? Because I'm a songwriter. I've been a songwriter since I was a child, and now I can use that gift against the deep state. It's beautiful. And you know, the thing is we're going to start hitting the campuses here, the college campuses, because what college kid isn't going to be like, there's corruption going on with the judges?
Yes. Good call. And also,
yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So Do Nothing Radio, that's going to be our medium. Because think how it's like, if I went up to college people and I said, "Hey, here's politics," they'd be like, no way. But if I come up with a radio station with some bomb ass music, and I'm telling them this is a result of this is news being reported with music, and this is what's happening, they start to listen to what's happening. See, they've been programmed. We've all been programmed, like Wes mentioned earlier, and it's time to deprogram and to reprogram our minds. And my dad was a 4th degree black belt. And when he was training us when I was younger, he said 27 times in a row, you do something like a move 27 times. That equals 9, by the way. It's the God number. But anyway, it programs you to do it. That's why people who are into martial arts, if somebody hits them this way, well, immediately they have a response. They know exactly what to do because they've practiced it over and over and over.
Block and attack.
Again.
Block and attack.
Deflect and hit. So we are now at the point where we are taking their tools of brainwashing. It's just, everything's a program. If you look at it that way, everything's a program. We can program ourselves to do anything. And because I learned that early, I used to think, oh, good, I'll just sit down and program myself. Like I used to actually think that way. And I learned that. And I didn't even realize the slow drip of the programming of the matrix until I woke up. And then went, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare we're living in. But hey, if anybody is out here stalking me right now, or if you are a pedophile, or if you are a freaking criminal, you can move to Benton County and Franklin County, and these judges will absolutely protect you. You don't even have to worry. They will lower your sentence. You raped a child, they'll lower your sentence. They have got such a lockdown on protection of each other. It's disgusting. These people are vile. They're disgusting. When I see them in the commissioners meeting and look at them in the eye, this is what they do. They go like this. They look down like this. They all look down because they know. They know what they're doing. And they know I know. They know I know. And so with this whole court watching thing, I want 1,000 court watchers in Benton County and Franklin County. Can you imagine the slow infiltration that could take place if we could get 100 people per courtroom? I mean, we have 300,000 people in my area. Why not? Why couldn't we find 1,000 people to come in here and watch these judges? That's my goal. Like
Wes was saying, that they do it in the daytime so that you can't come in there and so forth. I wanted to talk about the pedophile because I remember having a conversation earlier today, Mitch, where they were talking about a guy the lawyer. What was the lawyer's name that was assaulting assaulting children, and then he got 7 years. 7 years. That's it. And now he's almost going to be out soon.
Yeah, that's Jerry Davis, and he's an attorney from here, and he had one-on-one access with children. He worked with CPS. He got the 2 boys. They were 5 years old and 3 years old. He also did this to their dad. So this is generational.
Well, so he molested their dad. And then when the dad had kids, the CPS took the kids and he molested the kids?
He took his kids. He took his kids and their kids for 3 years. Not only did he sodomize them, but he trafficked them. He invited people off of the internet to come and do that with them. And all he got was 7 years? Megan Whitmire, who's a commissioner for family court here, she was his attorney at the time, and she was very fond of Jerry. That's why that says it in the songs that he's very fond of Jerry. She said that on the record that she's fond of this man.
I mean, I had to resist the urge to throw my cup across the room when you said what he was saying. I was just like, what? Like, this man is doing this and he is 7 years. That's it? No, dude.
You go to his LinkedIn page, his picture is still with those 2 boys. Like, because he's in jail, so he couldn't change his picture, but he's out. He's going to be out anytime now. He needs a rope around his neck.
When Trump said that he was going to give the death penalty to traffickers, I was like, yes. And we need that, because people like that, especially like this, in positions of power, that you're going to go ahead and you're going to do this kind of filth, and you've been doing it for 20 something years at least.
Yeah.
You need the death penalty. I don't care what anybody says, because if you're going to be raping kids for that long and continue to traffic kids, and you're going to do it on the taxpayer dime, you need capital punishment in a big way.
Yeah,
They've
absolutely. So
lost their
that's what
human
I'm for.
rights. They do not deserve those certain rights anymore. You harm a child, and I see. I fought like you wouldn't believe to get my son and my 3 daughters back. They were taken from me when I was just trying to get my wife help because she was mentally unwell. That's not. I try to tell people all the time. That's not man versus woman mentally unwell. There was something seriously wrong with her, and since I've been in this world, I have seen so many things, and these people, they've lost their humanity. They, like, they're not just pedophiles. These people with any type of perverted fetish, and they all support each other, so they can get, it's basically whatever gets them aroused, and then they play the victim so they can get back to their actual victims by them playing the victim. It's disgusting what they do. I like that you brought up martial arts because I've been teaching my children.
You know,
Yeah, but yeah.
with my daughter's cousins, one of them got caught trying to stick his penis in the mouth of the other one in secret. And I went to say something, and the counselor tried to tell me that was just children exploring their bodies. And I said,
Oh my God.
BS. I don't believe you. And I said, even if that was the case was true, if one of those kids stuck their penis in my daughter's mouth, it's going to destroy her psychologically. And she couldn't argue with that and the look on her face. But the hammer came down. I'm like, I want to know what went on. Where do those kids learn it from? Are those people going to be around my kid? But no, instead the hammer came down. I'm asking serious questions, and they're trying to put this on this and that. I'm like, no, right? Like, I don't care who it is. If there's a pedophile, they need to get dealt with, right? That's all I want to know, right? And whatever the situation that caused that, find out and fix it so it doesn't go and affect nobody else.
And it has to be public. It has to be announced. Like if you're doing this, it should be on every platform. I mean, the propaganda media that just promotes every perverted fetish and then makes them the victim when they're just exploiting children all the time. Like I have to get a special paperwork to get my children out of the sex ed class. They're there to learn reading, writing, math, some basic history, some geography, capitals of places. They don't need to learn about that. They need to be as children as long as possible. My son and my just turned 18. My daughter just turned 16, and they've had a good, innocent childhood. And you can anyone can meet my kids. They are well behaved because I've made sure to keep purity in our lives instead of all the weird. And it's weird. There's no other way to put it. It is weird when you're trying to sexualize children and get them excited and interested in anything in that category. I mean, I believe even 18 is too young. I mean, because they need to be children. They need that innocence because childhood is fleeting. I want to go back to being a kid so bad. I'm tired of being an adult. But this world is absolutely insane. These Dale, you've been bringing up several times. The death penalty needs to happen for these absolute perverts, and they need to stop giving a slap on the wrist. It's insane.
Yes, there's no other punishment that suits this type of crime. This is what they need. We're going to take a short break because I got to play a commercial, but we're going to come back on the other side and continue this conversation.
Perio, co-founder of Mark37.com. I spent my career in Silicon Valley working for high-tech infrastructure companies, and I've witnessed firsthand the surveillance apparatus they've built. Most of you already know we're in a digital war right now, but are you really aware that we're trying to fight this war with the weapons and tools of the enemy? That Android or iPhone in your pocket? That MacBook or Windows laptop? It's a tracking device feeding everything you say and do to companies that want you under their control or eliminated entirely. Every text, call, location, even how long you pause on a post, they track it all and use complex algorithms to then use this data to manipulate your behavior. If you knew someone hacked your devices and was selling your data without your consent, you'd be furious and terrified. So why are you okay with these companies doing this to you right now? Here's what they don't want you to know. There is another way. At Mark37.com, we offer phones, laptops, tablets, and even basic flip phones, all running systems big tech can't access unless you explicitly give them access. And what's even better is you also don't need to sacrifice productivity. I'm one of thousands of geeks mobilized across this country, building tools and providing education and support to help you live anonymously online before they enforce digital ID. Go to mark37.com. Sign up for a free 30-minute digital privacy consultation. Join hundreds of thousands who have decided to stop feeding their data to companies actively working to enslave us. Take back your communications. Take back your data. And may God bless you on your journey.
Oh, there we go. Like I said, I got myself one of those phones. You can go and get it, check it out. You can use the promo code CARES to get yourself a 5% off, because the government has no business being in our backyards, especially when they're pedophiles. I'm sorry. You're not coming in there, because it's bad enough the government, but pedophiles monitoring my phone. No, thank you. No, thank. Right. And if you want to support what we're doing, you can see the action plan down there, or go to mypillow.com, use the promo code CARES, and then you'll be able to get a good discount and so forth. Or you can call 1-800-845-2942, which you can see in the ticker as it's going by. Support a good cause. We've got links in the description for all kinds of products. We've got merchandise and so forth. Please support this, because we fight against pedos and so forth. We're trying to get people freedom back. That's it. I don't care what you do. Just don't be like them, please. Let's get back to this. I want to go back to the comment about the lynching issue with the judge. What was the judge's name? The judge that...
I believe it's Judge Sonia Rodriguez True.
Yes.
True is True is how you spell it, which is weird. The last name
was it
True.
Sonia?
Anyway, what was that?
Was it Sonia? Sonia Rodriguez?
Yeah.
True?
Yes. That I think it's Sunny. Her real name might be Sonia, but they call her Sunny.
Okay.
I was making sure to take down notes when Mitch was talking to us. I was trying to make sure I got it right.
Gotcha. Sorry, I lost you there. Okay.
Yeah.
And so she's a joke. These people are a joke. When I don't know where they get their education from. I guess it's the bar. And when you do go to the bar for 4 years, do you know that you don't even learn how to write a motion until you work underneath an attorney after spending 4 years in the bar school? So these people are just, I look at them kind of as NPCs a little bit, because they're just going through the motions to get the money. Oh, well, these kids are getting hurt, but I've got a black robe on. I guess that makes it okay.
Yeah.
When they're committing, it's all backwards. We're getting harmed. Our children are getting harmed. Our children are getting raped. And then they're telling us that we can't use our God-given gifts and rights to defend ourselves. I mean, God gave us a voice so that I could say, hey, don't go into the street, so that my child doesn't run into the street, or my dog doesn't run into the street. So why would they try to stifle what God has given us? And it's easy, because we are under a satanic death cult. And so again, until truth matters, and it doesn't matter to Judge True, but we're going to see if it does or not this Wednesday. We'll see what happens.
But you were you heard the words that she said about the lynching. Where was that?
I didn't hear her say that. But by her actions, because I didn't go to the court that day. Aaron was in the court, so I didn't hear any of that. I got to see the notes and to see the notes of what she was talking about.
Okay.
But basically what she was doing is based on what I was able to observe, and I know it'd be nice to be able to look at actual transcripts.
Yes.
But yes, I mean, they are telling us under no uncertain terms that it's okay to stand in front of the courthouse and to threaten people to lynch them. They're not going to investigate it. They're not going to look, even though this information was entered into the record, by the fact that she's ignoring it, she's admitting that it is in fact the case. It's tacit acquiescence. That's the way I look at it. If you start to look at everything and what the way they are judging on this, it's all inverted.
But
so he's not committing a crime, but he's the one committing the violence.
But who is
committing Mitch? Oh, Mitch.
Who is threatened to? Who are they threatening to lynch?
Candace Owens and Mitch Snow for lying about the fact that Mitch Snow saw Erica Kirk and Cabot Phillips at the Candlewood Inn Suites on September 8th, 2 days before Charlie Kirk got killed. It's all connected.
And with this, just quickly, who said that they wanted to lynch Candace Owens and Mitch Snow?
Well, the first one to say it was George Webb, investigator. He went out in front of the courthouse with his camera and basically was just saying, I'm in front of the county courthouse, and there was the jail there. And if she doesn't admit, have you not seen that video?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to have to find that video really quickly and put it up. Why don't you talk and I'll find that video and send it to you real quick.
Oh, yes. I mean, for sure, because I'd like to see this. Who else said that, though? Like, other people said this after he said this? Like, this is, I mean, how can you...
They can justify their violent rhetoric, their summer of love, mostly peaceful protests, all their lies and diversion tactics, and then if we say anything like, well, got to get tough on crime, suddenly we're toxic, masculine, misogynist narcissists. I mean, right. They have their script so well rehearsed. Just like she was saying about the judges, they're not educated. They're installed minions with a rehearsed speech that their masters tell them to say. They do not have an education. They are just installed minions that know what they're told to say. It's amazing because, right. When I was going through my court case, I was going up against 4 lawyers, and they're like, Mr. Acton, are you sure you're just a plumber? I was like, well, you got Google Law right here, and I didn't have to pay for the law degree. He got so mad at me when I did that, and they're like, they didn't know I actually went to school, but I couldn't, I didn't finish because it was the recession and another fake corruption to get people compliant and obeying and following in line. Just all these so-called disasters is just to get people to obey and walk in line. One of us, we're all in this together. COVID drove me insane.
Yes.
Here in Washington.
Yeah, I know. I mean, my work actually, when I was doing some stuff for COVID, Washington was one of the places that showed up on my list because there was he was a Canadian dentist, but he was working in Washington. He got paid I think it was somewhere around over $2 million to go ahead and write things that were going to cause people to die because they were talking about engineering controls. And they had no engineers on there. There were medical doctors and dentists and public health people. And I'm like, no. And then when I went to look up some of the guidelines, you would go into it would say, go click here. And then it was 404 not found. Right? Oh, yeah. And I know that they were doing the quarantine camps and all that kind of stuff. It's corrupt. It is corrupt. And when the conversation that we were having with the judges, the lawyers and stuff, raping the kids through CPS, and then, no, man, no. I'm sorry. No. I agree with the Bible on the dealings of the pedophiles. You got capital punishment, and if you saw them doing filth to a child and you did nothing, you got it too. Mm-hmm. And that's that's what needs to happen again. Yeah. What rational person is going to sit down and say that this is okay?
I did a video a while ago saying that even if it was just a mere mention, a theory, a just a comment that children are being trafficked, why isn't there more of an uproar just for the mere mention of it? Everyone knows it is happening in mass numbers, and there's still not an uproar about this. Innocent little children that have, I don't know, I can put myself in their place of just like we saw the Sound of Freedom. My children, when they were taken from me, terrified, having their hand against the glass, saying, "Daddy, please don't let them take us." I mean, put yourself in their shoes of just being harmed every day, several times a day, and some people just want to go right back to their Netflix and fast food in their
Yes.
entertainment world and put a blind eye to it all the time. It's so frustrating how people just ignore and then tell me I'm playing the victim. I'm just doing this for attention. I'm doing this because I want to play a hero. I'm like, I had my children taken from me when I was just looking for help. I was punished for protecting. There's no other way to put that. The way Francesca has put that. I mean, there's no other way to put that. So many of us were punished for protecting. We just wanted to have that white picket fence life, go to work, come home to our children, and enjoy our lives. And I've seen so many lives destroyed just because they were looking for help from a system that's designed to destroy.
That's the biggest sign that they're pedophiles, because when I began to examine how they were doing things, and they would remove all of your ability to defend yourself, and then they would go ahead and ambush you, and it was in the most slimy, disgusting way. I'm like, this is the mindset of a pedophile. I'm like,
I showed you the degree.
Yeah, a rational person would never think to do this. If they were going to come after, they'd just get it over and done with. But these guys like playing the game, and they like to just deprive you and deprive you and deprive you and just push you into these situations. Mm-hmm. They're sick and twisted individuals.
Right. Well, I told you what they did to me with the founded finding. I won. I got my kids back. I had no criminal record. I didn't have a speeding ticket on my record. I was a good, hardworking contractor, plumber, electrician. And then I think I showed you this. What they did is the founded finding. No criminal record. They gave it to my ex-wife and said, I cannot have access to children and vulnerable adults. They made me look like what they are, something I was never arrested for, something I never even knew existed. But as soon as Biden got in office, about 2021, February 2020, about 2 months in, suddenly I could not find work anywhere. And they broke me down to the point I almost lost my kids again, because I lost my home, lost my dignity, lost my self-respect, could not make any money. And I got into some substance abuse, but thank goodness I snapped out of it, because I knew they were going to win. I could not let them win. And it's been a tough go of it. And like right now, we're trying to work on that, to all the people that have been falsely accused, just so they can find another trick, another legal, well, not to make it look legal, that they break down the parent, the good, safe parent, to the point they can have an excuse to take the children all over again. I knew my children, my son and my 3 daughters, were already bought and paid for, and through the grace of God, miracles were pulled off. I was able to get my kids back.
Well,
but they still got me the founded finding thing. Yeah.
It's like, even within my case, like I put this up many times, showing the fraudulent signatures that they put on to transfer my title, to sell my house, and all of these kinds of stuff, and then set that fraud in front of a judge, and then have the judge go ahead and complete the fraud, and then they ended up, that's where the courts cut part of the money laundering to do this, and then they're protecting their racket. And the police that were there, they won't investigate. They won't investigate the abduction, which was clear cut, where it just said that I'm taking your kid, you're not getting access, and that's a crime, because there was no justification for it, and so forth. And they're continuing to conceal the crime, and then you get all these people that are supposedly on the independent media or inside of these spaces to protect children, and they're mowing down the people who are getting destroyed, but then they're protecting people who are not. And a lot of the traffickers are also embedded inside of a lot of these movements. A lot of them.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of them that's just realtors scamming people getting out of their homes to make them homeless so they have a chance to get this. There's realtors involved in it. There's church leaders involved. I mean, it is widespread.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is...
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Hey, Dale, just real quickly, check your Telegram. I sent you the link with Mitch speaking at the commissioners meeting. And in that, it's just a couple minutes, is where George Webb talks about lynching Candace Owens and him in front of the courthouse. So if you check your Telegram, it's in there.
Okay, let me see here.
You should
and send
definitely
that to me
share
too.
that.
I'll
People
spread
haven't
it
seen
everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
was
amazing how they
trying
can
to
be.
get a hold of him. He was 15 minutes away from me. I could have met him. I could have given him Mitch Snow's phone number. I could have shown him evidence, but he had no
No,
inkling to
no,
contact
no,
me.
no interest in dealing with that.
Mm-mm.
Of course not. I'm just gonna have
Nope.
to get this here
We're
sent.
either dealing with the perverts, the corrupt officials, the installed minions, or a bunch of cowards that act like they're patriots.
Yes.
Like I got family and friends and church members that I was involved with that say we gotta stand together. Oh, the end is coming. We gotta be righteous, the light of God. And as soon as it got tough, they caved. It was the one of the most
Yeah.
disgusting things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that happens quite often. I just gotta get this thing up here as soon as okay. It's just
Yeah, so
taking.
what you're going to see is Mitch speaking at the Benton County Commissioners meeting, and telling them about George Webb standing in front of the courthouse, and then the video comes on where he's in front of the courthouse.
Okay, let me get this here. Just gonna find that here. Just 1 second. Just grab.
Well, Kat, I'm glad we met you today because I think we can get you introduced to a few more people. I'd like to be involved in anything you got going on. I'm in East Wenatchee, Washington. I'll be happy to help in any way I can.
Awesome. I used to have a property years ago in Wenatchee, and nice. I love that little area. It seemed really crowded even then, though, when I was visiting.
It's a
back in
beautiful
the
area,
day.
very corrupt.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It is beautiful.
You heard about
when you drive in.
I'm in the same town as the Travis Decker thing that happened, and almost everyone here knows it was the authorities that made that happen. I don't know if you heard about the Travis Decker thing.
I didn't hear about that. I'll have to look that up.
I'll talk to you about that. It was all over the news for a while. It was a manhunt. It was on national news too.
What was?
And Mitch, him and I have been talking about this a lot.
Okay, that would explain. I don't watch news, so I don't know what's going on out there in my own little world.
I have to with the line of work I'm in right now. I'm trying to keep track of a lot of things, and I've been interviewed on a lot of different platforms here lately. I don't know if you ever heard of a man named Dr. Charlie Ward.
Oh yeah, I know Dr. Charlie Ward.
Yeah, I
Not
met him at Trump to Roll down in Miami, and I was interviewed on his show. I was the Christmas special 2024.
Nice,
on his show. Yeah. And I've been trying to fight this for a long time because I seen the facilities where children were used to extract adrenochrome, right up in Brewster, Washington. There was a facility there that was a mental facility. I was the maintenance man there fixing the plumbing, heard screaming. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then now that facility, I went back up there because when I was meeting with Dr. Charlie Ward, we saw a lot of whistleblowers, ex-CPS agents telling us about the found and finding, how it's a tracker to stop you, even stop your payments. It's not just a fake criminal record. It stops your digital movement at all to make sure you're stressed out. You lose your temper, you get into substance abuse till you break down so they can take the children again. And they had little dots all over the country of where they had facilities of adrenochrome. They were used to be mental facilities. They threw all the patients out in the streets. You know how Trump keeps saying they let our prisoners in, they let mental patients come in across the country. They did that within the country as well. That's why the homeless population exploded. They let them all have the facilities, packed it full of children. They separated the children, what they wanted for adrenochrome and all the other things, and then the ones for perverted reasons, and sent them to wherever they had a client. They have an Amazon account for children, what these perverted elites have. I mean, I've seen so much. There's times I lay here in bed, I'm like, God, please help me sleep. God, please help me sleep.
Now
it's tough.
Let's pull up the video. I've got it here. Let's take a look at it here.
To be very specific, and a real quick rundown, 18 December, I appeared on the Candace Owens show to give a tip. That tip was not beneficial to some very rich white people in Scottsdale, Arizona. Those rich white people hired podcasters to threaten Candace Owens, a black woman, to go scorched earth on her and her reputation, trying to intimidate and threaten me and her to recant the tip. How this affects you all is because after that got outed and they got embarrassed for what they had done, they redoubled down and sent another podcaster under the guise of being an investigative journalist to come here to these county properties right outside this building that I'm standing at, as well as over in Franklin County, to threaten to lynch Candace Owens, a black woman, and me, a whistleblower, and a declared eyewitness to what seems to be a crime. It gets worse. This was reported to all 4 police agencies, executive actions around these counties, to both sheriffs and to Kennewick and Pasco police, for which they contacted the judges involved. They contacted the prosecutors, and they got advice to go ahead and sweep it under the carpet, declaring it that lynching people outside the county courthouses pointing at trees is not illegal. It's not a crime in Benton and Franklin counties. This is real bad optics for you all. I understand, Mr. Alvarez, you are a financial person, as you stated. So let me put this into finance terms.
Oh, it didn't. Oh no! Did I show you the wrong one? That was because he's spoken on a couple of them. Well, dang it. Okay, there's another one where it actually shows the George Webb investigation. I guess keep talking and I'll look for that one. I'm so sorry. I thought that was the one.
Well, that was still some good information, regardless. But yeah, I can't wait when we get that. Please send it to me. I definitely want to send that to some people I know. Oh,
Okay.
Dale, we lost you again.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
going.
because that's something way off base to say. Like, I mean, I don't care what it is. Like, you can use something else if you want to say something, but lynching is it's a wrong term to use. It is just a wrong term to use, right? You're
Especially
just
for someone who didn't really do anything wrong.
like, I mean, at the end of the day, I get the issues. Like, okay, yeah, the people who are on the side of Erica Kirk, I can understand they're upset. They this is a person they believe in and so forth. That's fine. But the whole fact of the matter is like, whatever you think about the situation, going and saying that somebody needs to be lynched for what? Like,
just for their opinion, just for them trying to report what they believe might have happened, and they just want to launch a detailed investigation. They just want to find the truth, and they say lynch them. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, like, I don't care which side of the argument you're on, whether you support Candace, whether you support Erica, or you just like in the middle, or don't pay enough attention, like me, because I don't. You don't tell somebody they need to be lynched. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't like a lot of people, the things they say, and I don't agree with them. I think they're absolutely wrong, but I'm never going to say go lynch that person. Even if they're a criminal, I'm not going to say go lynch them. I'm going to say go try them and give them the death penalty, but I'm not going to go and say just go lynch them, right? Because oftentimes,
proper investigation.
Okay, oftentimes,
the right one. Sorry
okay,
about that.
No worries. Oftentimes, when it comes down to the lynching and stuff like that, people do stuff in the heat of the passion, and oops, I grabbed the wrong person, right? Like,
right.
And so we don't want this, like, because how many times I'm sure they've probably gotten people who were harmed. Like, for example, there's one dude, this guy, and these people who do this nonsense need to go to prison. These women lied and got this guy this was a black dude. He got put in prison for so many years. And then it came out that this was not the case, and women lied. Those women should have spent the rest of their natural lives in jail. This is why lynching is wrong. Right? Because you want to have due process. When you have overmounting evidence, then yes, quickly deal with them. Right?
Yep. We're waiting for that due process for the judges. Yes, they should be arrested, go through a tribunal, and then they should be hung for crimes against humanity. But that, yes, they should definitely go through the due process.
Well, I mean, yes, because depending on what it is, because if you catch them on top of a child, like, I mean, what more is there to do, right? They got caught, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, something needs to be done. Let me get this here. This will be almost here. Just talk for a couple of minutes while I get.
Yeah, sorry, that was the right
Yeah,
one. But
I'm really hoping we can get real investigations and get these people.
Well,
Sorry, I
that's
interrupt you.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, while you're doing that, just last week, an old employee of mine contacted me and was crying because he'd been in and out of the courts 100 times in the last 3 years. He had his 7-year-old and 5-year-old daughter, and his ex-wife was trafficking them. And I spoke to his 7-year-old daughter, and she told me what they were doing to her and what they expected her to do to them. And he's like, you hear what she's saying, right? Like when she's saying they walk around naked, they want me to kiss their private parts. I mean, that's, we know what that means. So Aaron went into court with him Wednesday, and they spent 4 hours on that case. At the end of it, because Aaron was in there, he got his daughters. So they're doing the right thing when people are watching.
This is why they defaulted to giving the children to the mothers, because they know under pressure, women will traffic their children far faster than men will. Men will try to kill you before that happens. Some of the women, they will break faster. They torture them, they'll break them. Some of them are just obviously sick, but a lot of them comes through a lot of abuse. These people are experts, and they abuse people to break them, to make them into abusers, and they know they can accomplish this easier with women. This is why they default that way. No matter how terrible she is, they're going to give it to them, because they know that the worse she is, the easier it is for them to get away with their filth. This is why they go to the most disgusting parent, because if he's a sick pervert, he's not going to think any way about trafficking his kids. And if she's a sick, twisted woman, or she's weak and being abused to all high hell, he knows that if he keeps abusing her, a lot of them will break. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And so these people understand. This is why they all need to get tried, and they need the death penalty. All of them. All of these people that are all involved in this, you need the death penalty, because this cannot continue.
It's coming. It's coming. These people, they're scared. They know that their time is almost up. They're going to do this. It's going to eventually get kinetic, because these people are not going to just walk out.
No.
And at some point, we're going to have to remove these people. But it's not right now, but it's going to happen.
This is exactly why we put the petition in there, for them to use Article 4, Section 4, which they can engage the National Guard, they can engage the military, they can also get the militia underneath, like the U.S. Marshals and all these people, to go and round these people up, which needs to be done. Because I don't care how many of them, I don't care if 10% of the population is pedophiles, you all need to go. I'm fine with losing 10% of the population if they're pedophiles. Don't care.
Yep.
Right? Unalive them.
All they do is break down society anyway. It's not working.
Yes. Let's get the video up here.
The first time that I came here to speak, the retaliation, someone from here told a court clerk, who told judges, who then instructed a Deputy Murillo to instruct a Benton County resident to travel to my Pasco City home, to break into my home, turn on the gas, turn on the stove, turn on the lights, change the locks, so that upon re-entry and forced re-entry, this is a known tactic of killing people, blowing up their homes. It's typically called arson, for which Pasco Police, Sergeant Romero, and also Kennewick Police, even though there's been sustained death threats against me in both counties by the same people that are supported by the same judges in collaboration, they have said that because I'm a whistleblower or that I've been pointing out these issues, that there's no harm, no foul into sending people to come here to lynch me and point out and record themselves on the internet making threats to lynch me and Candace Owens at the courthouses, your places of work.
The lynching is going to happen. There's the jail. The lynching is going to happen. There's the jail.
Y'all heard that, right? He's going to say it again.
All Candace needs to do to avoid the pile-up, I'm going to see it all tonight. The lynching is going to happen. There's
What?
the jail right over there. The lynching, the electronic lynching of Candace Owens is going to happen tonight if she doesn't say this doesn't matter. If she doesn't say Mitch is a Fed, there'll be an electronic lynching of Candace Owens. She'll electronically be drawn out of that jail right over there and hung on that tree. And hung on that tree.
First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Hung on that.
Okay, so he's pointing to the tree at the Franklin County. There's a real tree, and it kind of cut off right before that, but there's a big tree right where he pointed. Now he says electronically lynching, but he's there casting electronically to the world about them being lynched.
But
what does that actually mean?
But he only said electronic the last 2 times. He said lynching, 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 lynching. And then at the end, he said electronic lynching. So to cover himself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
Yes.
What is electronic lynching? Is that a term in the digital world, or is that just something he just made up to cover his butt?
Grok even agrees that you can, even with the term electronic lynching, that if somebody's pointing at a physical tree, that it's impossible to electronically lynch somebody on a real tree.
And I don't care.
Mind-blowing. It's like
I listen to the stuff. I see some of the stuff online on X when they're talking about saying Candace Owens is this and that. And I know people who disagree with what Candace Owens is saying and what not, but they would never sanction this lynching. They were like, and I was actually talking to a guy, and he said, I don't even care, because he goes, I see things on the TPUS side that I can't stand either. And he goes, what it is, it's just dividing the people. He's mad about it, but he would never sanction the lynching. Right? And this is what people, I don't care if you hate my guts or hate what I say. I don't care if I hate what you say. I'm never going to say lynch somebody. This should never be done. And then a judge should never be like, oh, no, it's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah, because this stuff has been all turned in, right? So this has been all turned in the case. So if the judge is just going to look at that and go, well, that's okay. But you committed domestic violence, even though he was absolved from it 3 years ago because it was all lies. And that was Carly Wiseman, the deputy prosecuting attorney. I have it in writing from her that all the false allegations were dropped. And I put that out on X. So when they were attacking Mitch Snow back then, I didn't even know Mitch went on the Candace Owens show, because it's not like I talked to him. I hadn't talked to him in several months. So when I heard he was on the Candace Owens show, I was like, what? And that's when the whole circus began. And he told her at the end, he's like, I don't think this is going to go very well. We'll see what happens, kind of, and he didn't mention his son or his situation with the son one time. Candace briefly said, for you and your son, one comment at the very end. They never brought up his son or his family situation. And then this whole thing started, this huge organized attack. Alex Jones, out of all people. Do you know that Alex Jones liked 3 of my ex posts that proved Mitch was innocent? Alex Jones, in a row, boom, 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 liked 3 of my posts proving that Mitch Snow was innocent. Yet he still talks like he didn't see it.
Like I sit down and I say, when I saw people ambushing the guy about him and his kid, I was like, you need to stop. Like, you need to stop. I don't care. Like, I don't say what you want about the man, because you can have your opinion on that. I don't care. That's fine. But you have to understand the fact that the guy's kid is saying, I'm being molested. I'm being physically abused, and I'm being starved. And if you can't sit down and think that needs serious investigation, then you're a damn well pedophile in my books. I don't care what you say. If you think that a child should sit there and be in that situation and not being investigated, then you are a damn pedophile. And I don't care what anybody says, because I don't care if you're my worst enemy. I wouldn't let somebody rape your kid, because I'm not a monster. I'm not Satan. Absolutely. Nor do I worship him. Yes. So I don't care if this person was my mortal enemy, like spy versus spy stuff, trying to end each other's life. You do not let somebody rape kids.
Nope. Period.
Oh gosh,
we're about done. We're done with that, and we're calling it out like it is. Truthful truth. These people are cockroaches, and you know what cockroaches do when the light turns on? They all scatter really fast.
Yeah, that's why they're afraid of.
I lived in Hawaii and graduated there, and there's a lot of those there.
Yeah, they're scared of investigations. They're scared of asking questions. They're scared of debate. They want to just push their agenda and shut everyone up or lynch them. I mean, it's amazing how they can get away with all their disgusting, violent rhetoric and excite people to violence. If they say racist, fascist, Nazi enough, then there's going to be that one crazy that's going to show up and do something violent, and that's what they're hoping for. They hope this continues. It gives them ratings, gives them propaganda, gives them power, and it keeps the useful idiots moving in the direction they want them to go. They just keep the programming going. It's just not. But I don't know about the rest of you, but we're seeing a real awakening here. I'm talking to people every day. They're like this. Wow, Wes, did you know about this? I'm like, well. Yes, my mom and dad have been involved with learning about this stuff before I was even born. So a lot of people say they discovered it. I was born in this. Yeah, my dad has books from the 70s of what's been going on for a long time. And the programming has been started ever since Rome. It is insane how they have got the same old sins, just new ways, disgusting things. The only thing that's different from us and back in the Dark Ages is technology, political correctness, and just doing all this evil in a polite way. Yeah.
And this is the two things I cannot stand the most: pedophilia and treason. And you'll see those two coming together all the time, because the traitors will use the pedophiles, because the pedophiles will do what they really want as long as they protect their pedophilia, and not a chance. Any of those two, done. I can deal with almost anything else, but those two, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And this is where
proven guilty, they need to be dealt with.
Yes, this is where this ends. We're not dealing with this anymore. I have no love for none of that stuff. You want to bring that stuff in my face, you know what's going to happen, because we'll serve you up to whoever is going to put you through the due process, and then you're going to get your punishment. Don't care.
This is what
no
my dad
mercy.
Says. Yeah, he's not afraid. What he's afraid of is not actually being the executioner. He's afraid of actually laughing when he gets the job done. He's like, because these people are so wicked. I mean, my dad is a tough tank commander. He's got an eye patch. He looks like a tough Jolly Roger. That's my dad. And I've been hearing him talk about this ever since I was a little boy. And he says that it should put him on a ship and sink it. And he says, I'm just afraid I'm going to enjoy it too much. That's where he's that he's going to go take it too far. Same with me. When I saw my children screaming for me, I knew if I fought that battle then, I was going to lose the war. I read the book Art of War. You know, you have to lose a couple battles so you can win in the long run. And, you know, you have to wait for the opportune moment. That's why I get really frustrated. People I work with their cases, they'll film all their documentation and post it on TikTok or social media. They'll basically tell the enemy they're going to attack the North Wall. They're going to tell the enemy the time they're going to assault the front gate. But basically, that's what they do. And they're so proud. Hey, everyone, look at me. I just filed my lawsuit. Celebrate when you win. And see, I kept it quiet until I finally had the paper in my hand. The children were mine. And then I started advertising on how to win and how to do it the right way. There's no way I didn't tell anyone how I was doing it during the process. It was amazing to me. So that's one thing I've been helping a lot of families, but is like, keep your mouth shut until you win. And you know, there's nothing wrong with saying certain things, but you don't tell them your strategy. You know, that's Yeah, because we're in a war. We're in a whole different war. We don't have the swords and shields yet, but we're in the information and spiritual warfare right now, which the swords and shields might come later.
And this is where, like I sit down, it comes down to this. And this is why I talk about people when we're doing these petitions. This is either you're going to do it this way or you're going to do it when it comes down for the guys they're sending with guns to come and get you. And you don't want to wait for that, because at that point you're at a severe disadvantage. And at the end of the day, you have to say that this is the line in the sand and we're going to draw it. Because you go back to the Declaration of Independence, the guys that put their names to that, a lot of them died, right? A lot of them died. When they signed that, a law without people willing to do what is necessary to uphold that law means it's just a suggestion. And the reason why nothing is getting done is because the people aren't coming in and saying, this is where it ends, this is the law, you're going to deal with it, or you're going to go out the door, and if not, you know what else is going to come. Because in the U.S. Constitution, it says that it guarantees you the Republican form of government. Raping kids is not Republican form of government. That's a system of slavery, right? So at the end of the day, you got to sit down and say, either you're going to stand up for the people on freedom, or you're going to be with the pedophiles, because there's no in between. Because if you're apathetic and you do nothing, acquiescence is consent, and you're consenting to them do that. So it's time to wake up and do something. Time to wake up and do something. Right? That's really it.
I'm grateful for the trials I went through, because now I'm in this fight. I mean, I could be in a comfy situation with my white picket fence life where I came home from work, but I would rather be knowledgeable what's going on right now and me doing something about it, me being part of the fight, than me living in the comfy life. I mean, the comfy life is enticing. I do want a comfy life, but not when there's evil hiding amongst us. So I am actually grateful for the trials I've been through, that I've gone through these tough times with my children. So now we can be aware, awake, and actually doing something about it. Because now I've met a wonderful community of people who've been through terrible times, but they still have God in their hearts. They're righteous, they're loving, and they're ready to come together as a good, loving, honorable community. And it's been an honor to with a lot of the people I've been associated with lately.
Yes. And you know what? I think this is a good place to end, because we all know where we're going, and this is time to deal with it. And we'll quickly hear for you guys. Pat, we'll start with you. Here's your 2 minutes. What do you want to say to people? And then you're next, Wes.
All right. Well, thank you, Dale, again for bringing me on. This is a battle, but I, in my heart of hearts, I know that I am here to help end this. And this is the end times, but not the end times for us. It's the end times for them and their system. This is a Babylonian banking system of no justice, that, all this no money, but we're slaves for 30 years with our homes. It's all fake. This whole system is fake. It's all fraud. They operate under lies, fraud, and deception. And in the meantime, our children and us are being trafficked in the system. These black robes do not uphold the Constitution. They do not protect us from enemies, both foreign and domestic. And it's time now that the people wake up and stand up, rise up, use your voice. The vibration of our voice, it changes things. We're human projectors. But if we say nothing, nothing happens. This is why they want us to be quiet. If anything, don't be quiet. We have to shout from the rooftops that they're doing this to us, because the FBI has had the Epstein files since 2019. This is 7 years later, and they did nothing. So they hand 3.5 million files over to us, and what are we supposed to do with that? I mean, seriously. So we have, one other extra thing is that Catherine Rumler, the attorney for Jeffrey Epstein, graduated at Richland High School, 5 minutes from my home. So we have Epstein actual ties here. Catherine Rumler was in the Epstein files 11,000 plus times. She went to school with Mitch Snow's ex-wife, Lene Snow, who went to Richland High too and graduated there.
What?
You can't make this up. They were friends in high school. They're all traffickers, okay? Yeah, right.
Oh my.
They're traffickers.
Oh,
met her.
Oh,
Yeah, and do you know times I've said this and they've not sued me? I've been checking cases and I'm not getting sued. So why?
They don't want to bring
Do
attention
you
to
want
you.
to bring
That's
me
why.
into court with all my evidence? I
But-
don't think they do.
Yeah,
you gotta send the stuff to me about that Epstein connection. Please do it. Please send that to me. Because this, people have to understand this connection to the Epstein files and to Epstein, like friends with the lawyer for Epstein, and then you're seeing pedophilia being protected by the judges.
Yep.
Yes.
It's
mind-blowing, I know. And that's what we're trying to expose here.
No, it's not mind-blowing for me. It's just angering that it's happening.
It's
that,
boiling.
That people are sitting there and they're allowing people to just rape kids. Like, what?
And by the way, Catherine Rumler's dad works at Hanford right now. He's a bigwig at Hanford, and Hanford is its own thing. But Operation Paperclip and all this, we've had original Nazis, grandchildren, just all over the place here at the top. They're all they're grandchildren of original Nazis, all running around in here running the show. So I know what you're doing. And they're trafficking our children.
That's not even a theory. It's happening.
It's 100% truth. Yeah. And you could look up Wikipedia, just look up Catherine Rumler. It says right on there she graduated at Richland High School on Wikipedia, which is what it is. But yeah, they went to school at the same time, her and Lene Snow. And see, Lene Snow hates when I say her name or bring her up or bring up the fact that she touches her son's penis. Like, you know what?
I know
you are a disgusting, vile human being, and you shouldn't. These people who do that to their sons and their daughters need the ropity rope, the buffet.
When I read that, I had to call him. I said, "Why are these people not in jail?" I was like, "Why are these people not in jail?" The child saying I'm being raped, touching his penis so much that it got raw. I was like, what the? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was saying it, and he was not coached. They're trying to say that Mitch coached him. No, Denise Brockman with Kids at Heart interviewed him, and she put it in her report, and he wrote that in front of her. Mitch was not sitting there writing that for him. He was very detailed. He was a very smart boy. And he's captured right now. He's enslaved. What the hell's wrong with these people? They're sick. I'm so sick.
Every single person involved with this needs maximum punishment. I don't care. I have no more mercy for this kind of filth because I deal with this like almost every day for the last 5-6 years. I am sick and tired of seeing this filth and people that are going after people who are trying to protect these children are the ones who are getting destroyed the most. I don't care if you have a disagreement. Don't get in the way of them trying to save children. I don't care. Like if you're going to sit down and do this to a person doing this, you're protecting pedophiles. And I have had it done. I don't care what happens to them. They need to be dealt with. They need to be get away. Judges, I don't care who you are. You are doing this filth. You need to get tried and you need maximum punishment. No ifs, ands, or buts. None. Done. Over.
So that's all I have to say.
I love seeing you're passionate about this.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. I know you went through the walk, and a lot of us right now have gone through this walk, and we are learning a lot, aren't we? And so this is what we're going in. We're going into a new earth, and in this new earth, these pedophiles will not exist in this new earth. Yep. And we're, so I'm for the children. I worked 26 years in property management. I'm a financial expert. I gave it all up to be a voice for the children. And so at this point, there's no reason for me to want to back up, on what I am saying, and anybody can sue me or they can come right up to me and ask me questions. I can show them the proof. But if you're going to defend a pedophile, like you said, then you are one and you're complicit. And that maybe we need to look at your phone and your laptop and your internet history to see what you've been looking at. But yeah, it's getting real now. It's getting real.
Oh, yes. Yes, then thank you for coming. So, Wes, now up to you, because I know I could curse about pedophiles all day.
Oh yeah, well you and I have. We've spent hours talking about it. Kate, first off, God bless you. Thank you, and we're so grateful to meet you and that we're all on the same team. I've been fighting this for so long. When I got my kids back, I had so many people calling me up, Wes, how do I get my kids back? And I couldn't do enough. Before COVID, I got 43 families reunited. I spoke to hundreds, but I was only able to get 43. After COVID, they changed everything. They installed so many. They got rid of any good judges, any good lawyers, any good officers, any type of authorities that were at least somewhat good, even though they were in low number then. Now they're even worse. They chemically lobotomized them, and that's why we have such a homeless population, is because we had some good people in authority that were taken out during COVID. I met them. I told people, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy enthusiast because it's real. It's happening. It doesn't even take that much research to see it. Basically, just look at the streets of any major city. It's happening right there before our eyes. People talk about it. These Luciferians, they have to tell you the truth. That's why it's in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And again, that's not another theory. It is right there, blatant in our faces. And it's been, and thank God it's being exposed, because you're right. There's a new world coming, and it is an honor to be part of it, to be on the front lines, to be doing God's work with so many wonderful brothers and sisters, that we can make this happen. And I was going down a very dark road. I gave up. I was losing. I was drinking too much a while ago. And because I saw no way out, I couldn't find any hope. Then one day I was on TikTok and I saw an advertisement for the Family Justice and Accountability Act. I was like, wow, that spoke to me. I started reading. I found every way to get on that Zoom call every Wednesday night. And I was like, hey, I see you don't have a Washington team leader. I volunteer as tribute because I have to be part of the fight. I tried getting back to the regular workforce, and it kept dragging me right back to this world. And I'm grateful it did, even though the nightmares are still there of things I've seen and things I witnessed, and almost losing my children to the most evil thing that's possibly out there. You can't think of anything more wicked than what they're doing to children. There's nothing more evil than that. And to have that reality always in my head, keeping me in the fight, keeping me going, because it's I'd rather have an uncomfortable truth than a convenient lie. And we got to keep going on this. And I'm so grateful to meet you. And we were talking this morning about trying to get this rolling, to get some more word out there. And anything you want me to help you with, let me know. I used to have a very big platform on TikTok. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I was just
going to say, every Saturday we're doing the court watching a Zoom meeting as well. So if that's something you want to be a part of,
us too. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
It'd be great to join forces and get this rolling, because we have a lot of good people. That's our Idaho State team lead, Megan. She's really good on the court watcher for Zooms here, and then another one, Chelsea Kennedy, she's North Dakota, right? Yeah, she's been helping with the court watchers too, and we are getting the petitions going. And Dale, let's talk later about what we got. I got going on with Larry Baker, because we've got a lot of things rolling.
Oh yeah,
and it's getting very exciting that we're looking like it's going to be coming down to the end of the line of getting real justice, real accountability, and saving God's children.
Oh yes,
because I have a connection with my 4 children, and people are saying, Wes, you got your kids back. This happened years ago. It is what it is. This too shall pass. Everything in the Lord's time. All those little pep talks to keep you compliant, to shut you down, to get your guard down so you can get sideswiped all over again, and then they can turn it around on you. Like, there's some actually CPS agents that really believe they were getting into something that because they believed the lie. And then it got turned on them. When they started trying to expose it, and then they're like, oh, see, we got a bad one. And then really the bad ones pinned it on the good one. And and they're so good at their lies, their deceptions, their deceit. You know, like the one CPS agent that was trying to help me, her name is Jennifer Carlson. She warned me a bunch of stuff. 2 weeks later, she disappeared. And when I went and said, "Hey, where's Jennifer?" They act like they didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, "What do you mean? We're just talking. You guys were just talking right here about there's some TV show that they like. Oh yeah, Outlander." I was like, "You guys are just sitting talking about Outlander with her just the other day." Sorry, there's no Jennifer Carlson here. I'm like, it was a really creepy feeling, and I just kept aware of that the best I can. And sometimes I'll tell you about my the way I got my kids back. It was a lot of strategy. It was a lot of miracles too, a lot of prayer. So anyway, I can, like you just said, Dale, we can go on for hours about this. So I'm half Italian. I talk too much, so I'll shut up now.
All right, and there is somebody there that was from one of your followers, Ruxter, that said hello to you, Kat, and also said,
"Oh, hey, Rexter,"
and also
hey,
said,
brother. And he's in
did,
Idaho.
Yes, did the "where we go on we go all," and then also said wood chipper when it was talking about the pedophiles.
Oh, he always talks about wood chippers.
I mean, it's a common theme, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. All right, I'm going to close here with a prayer because we're going to need some of this because, I mean, we need some mercy for the kids. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your love, grace, and mercy. And Father, I ask of you this day to have mercy upon all these children who are suffering and to raise up the men and the women to do what is right and to stand up for the children and to protect them as they're continuing to do what is right and get the men and the women to come together to rebuild their families or churches or communities in our nation. And Lord, to deal with these wicked, filthy pedophiles. And Lord, no mercy for them so that there will be mercy for the innocent is my prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Thank you so much,
Wake
Dale.
up, people.
Yes.
God bless you both.
Thank you guys all for coming and everybody else for watching, and like and subscribe and share this